Hi there. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is rated for those aged 18 and older, as we do cover mature topics on occasion and swear often. So if you shouldn't handle these topics, click the fuck off right now. And, all you motherfuckers still here, enjoy the show.
Well, I think it's more just the fact that if I'm the conduit when I started, Missy can't fucking have a stable connection because apparently Discord hates Australians. And when Missy comes in, Discord also hates New Jersey, apparently.
Huh.
I can't believe I'm disabled in real life and also on the internet.
Oh no, that's the worst fate possible.
Welcome to the Chaotically Queer pod.
Jesus
Did I do it?
Christ. Yeah, you did it.
Where everything goes wrong in the most entertaining way imaginable.
Oh, yeah. God, we start off the fucking podcast with fucking trying to figure out Discord. You would
Well,
think
I'm howling at the moon
you would
and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon.
Oh my God, Missy.
Well, guys, I know why I have the power to make this call stable. It's very simple.
What?
I have star power, according to IMDb.
Oh God. Recent update as of when we're doing this podcast.
When did you have star power?
Oh, ow.
Allegedly, I am the star of the Minecraft movie, according
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for breaking NDA on the podcast, Jazzy.
to...
A joke.
Yes, it's a joke. For
This
context,
is all in reference to
a fake IMDb page that said I was in the Minecraft movie.
incredible.
Just the best. But, yeah.
The worst, but also the best.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be seeing myself in a movie in a couple days, so I guess not too far off. So,
Yeah,
Yo, oh, is that still? I keep forgetting when that happens.
in a couple days, I'm flying out to LA tomorrow. So,
Sick.
Hey, yo, nice.
God, that's a milestone, yo.
So within the same week, I'm going to see an LA premiere of a movie I'm in, and I have a false rumor about me being in a far bigger movie.
Amazing. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. That too.
Happy birthday for yesterday. God, you're 29 now, aren't
Yesterday,
you?
as of recording this podcast.
Yes, I'm 29. I have a year left till I'm 30.
Let's go! I'm not the oldest!
For like a couple more months, I believe.
Stop reminding me how old I am, Missy.
4.
4 months.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I turn 28 next month.
God, I keep forgetting
we're
I'm the.
actually all that close in age to each other.
I keep forgetting I'm the oldest person here, aren't I?
Yeah, there's only a couple months of difference between all of that. It's wild.
I know I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I have historically been even if I'm not the actual oldest, I have been perceived as the oldest of pretty much every friend group I've been in.
I was gonna say, because for the longest time I thought either you or Chloe was the oldest. I thought I was the young one here. Turns out I was just completely the oldest.
I have big sister energy.
Do I come off as the fucking oldest of this group somehow?
No.
Fucking
and I
no.
mean that in the best possible way. No, you don't.
I mean, I think I have youngest person energy just by virtue of that. Rather than being professional and not having food with me while recording, I brought pizza with me for this podcast. So
yeah, and also you will. I'm trying to figure out Nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna say you commit loudest to the bit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. So do we want to talk about the Ghibli film for this month, or?
I know you don't want to, but
let's give Jazzy the soapbox, and we just sit back and Jazzy.
I was gonna let y'all have the soapbox. y'all feel far more positive to this thing than I do. Spoiler alert, I
Yeah.
fucking hate this movie. I
Yeah.
fucking hate
Well,
this
I mean,
movie.
you have legitimate reason to hate this movie as well.
I guess, like, I don't just hate movies for no reason. I have actual reasons for hate. Okay, so am I going to be the one to start this? Or are we going to start with I fucking hate this movie note, and then you'll come in for fans of this movie on your
I
noble steeds,
can.
and save it from me?
You know what? Let's sandwich it. Let's start with positive, and then big old negative in the middle, and then a slice of positivity to end it off.
I
Okay,
mean, that's
so
a fun way to start it.
go right ahead. Floor is yours.
I was thinking about it, and there is a drinking game that you can do with Ocean Wave. Said drinking game is whenever there is a stereotypical anime trope.
That's
Something
why I
that
hate
you will
this.
find in a default season of anime, such as beach episode, main character gets slapped, flashback sequence.
Okay,
Never trust me to come up with drinking games.
I'll come up with a drinking game. Come up with a drink every time there's an audio issue with this.
Really?
Like, I had good headphones on watching this, and there were so much, and I didn't notice
Yeah.
this like on first viewing, but on this I know that we did for the podcast, I noticed there was a lot of bad audio in this movie. Mics peaked all over the place. The music tended to sound like shit. It's
Okay,
just
fair.
it's a movie made it's a movie that's barely taped together by Elmer's glue.
Taped together by Elmer's glue.
I realized it as soon
Love
as I
it,
said
ship
it. You know, I should correct myself, but I'm keeping it.
Don't correct yourself. Believe it wholeheartedly and let everyone else deal with the consequences.
Oh, Jesus.
Fine by me. So, Missy, you want to start us off? What did you think of Ocean Waves, the straight-to-TV Studio Ghibli film that no one ever talks about?
I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. I liked it. Goofy ass movie. If it very much feels like Studio Ghibli did a season of a normal anime, normal in quotation marks, but just like they took a bland anime premise and like it's Ghibli. Chloe, what did I say after watching it? The main character gives
He gives big
Kyo
Kyorn
vibes.
from Haruhi Suzumiya energy.
Yeah. Where like he acts all like fed up that he's getting dragged to things that he volunteers for in the moment, and then afterwards he's like, you know what, that wasn't bad. I miss it.
I don't.
I know you don't. No, it's just it's a goofy ass film. In it in my own experiences, I very much sometimes it's a little hard to watch in the moment, I will give it that. But I'm not opposed to stories where like kids are like awful to each other and then well, not even like awful to each other. Like they have never once do they not call each other friends. But there I appreciate like the time skip and the implied like everyone has had some time to experience the world and grow up and they all just like come back together um and like look back on things and like apologies are given. So I'm like, That's nice. I actually think I think that sort of time skip maturing needs more often.
Because that's just sometimes what happens in life.
At least
And
at least that's what happens with me. Like I can't speak for everyone, but at least like I found that relatable.
I would too if there was an actual apology. No one apologizes for anything in this movie.
I may be misremembering. Go on.
No, no one apologized in this movie. I guess I'll give my opinion. I fucking hate this movie. Sorry. It is so bad.
Listen, we knew
I
this was coming. We knew this was coming since the beginning. So it was only a matter of time until we got to the one where you were just gonna go full on nuclear, to be honest.
I won't go nuclear. I'm just gonna say I fucking hate it. I'll give my one positive off the bat. The animation looks nice. I dare say if they put this in a theater, it could have stood toe to toe with an actual Ghibli movie. And if they actually
I disagree
bothered
with that.
and if they actually bothered writing it, well then it could stand toe to toe with actual movies. It is the best I can describe Ocean Waves is that it is a movie made by someone who has no clue what they're doing. It is a movie that, well, either they have no clue what they're doing, or the budget doesn't allow them to, or they had an idea and budgetary issues caused them to not be able to realize it fully, because it feels like a diet version of Only Yesterday, a story where a character's past ultimately helps them learn and better themselves for the future. And as you'll recall, I really loved Only Yesterday. I thought it was an excellently put together movie. But there's a difference between Isao Takahata and the guy they randomly had doing this movie, who never did another Ghibli film again.
Who was
I'm not.
who is the
I don't remember.
said
I
person?
don't remember the director.
Go on. I'm looking Tomomi Mochizuki.
I don't.
Ocean Waves was the first Studio Ghibli film directed by someone other than the studio founders.
Dang.
Led
Too
a
bad it had to be
talented
Too bad it
led
had
a
to be this.
talented staff of younger employees in an adaptation of Saiko Kimuro's best-selling novel, taken from G Kids Films description of the film.
Fair enough. But the problem I have with this movie is I don't find the story particularly interesting. The characters are either boring or outright detestable. And by the end, it feels like they kind of just laugh it off and everything's fine and we kind of miss something. I don't. It. It's barely a movie. Like, it's barely functional as a movie because so much of it feels incomplete. And I'm just gonna say it right now. I remember during the last Studio Ghibli marathon I did, up until Earwig and the Witch, this was my most hated film. I thought Earthsea was better than this. And we'll get to that one. I don't like that one. I will say right now, I do not like Tales from Earthsea. I think it's a much better movie than this. At least the soundtrack was good, because holy shit, I hated the soundtrack to this movie.
Sheesh.
Like, the soundtrack was so poorly orchestrated, and the problem was because there's so few tracks, it repeats often. And normally I don't mind repeating tracks. I deal with it all the time in most shows, especially anime. But usually those tracks are nice to listen to, and I'm happy whenever they come on. Every time the same track played in Ocean Waves, I was annoyed. Like I said earlier, there were audio issues that just made the problems even worse. I noticed mic peaking plenty of times. I heard plenty of issues within wherever they were recording this thing. It's just a poorly put together movie. It feels like a paper mache project made out of rotten yogurt is the best way I can describe it. Like, congratulations, you did it, but you left a bad smell in the air, and I don't think you really accomplished anything. Did I have anything else to say? Oh yeah, no wonder they didn't dub this one. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine anyone wanted to bother.
Oof.
But yeah, I just really don't fucking like this one. It is so bad.
Oh, well, okay. I guess as a complete polar opposite to your thoughts on this, when you compared it to Only Yesterday, my first thought immediately as soon as the credits started rolling on it, I just remember coming onto the mic and just being all like, better than Only Yesterday?
Incorrect, but good, continue.
Yeah, that's more personal taste more than anything. Like,
I know. I know. I'm gonna be a dick about this. I'm sorry.
You're not gonna be a
I
dick.
think
You're
we
gonna
all
be a
have our picks
bitch.
where we're a dick to each other.
Mhm. Like, I don't understand how this could be seen as a better Only Yesterday. Only Yesterday was what was artistically crafted by a master at his work. This was comparing this to Only Yesterday is like comparing a child's jigsaw puzzle to the fucking Mona Lisa.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. I say this is better than Only Yesterday because this didn't like subject me to a breakdown level of an experience right in the middle of the film. This was just sort of like, yeah, it reminded me a lot of experiences that I personally went through in high school and after the fact with a lot of people who I went to high school with, but it didn't actively sort of drove me to a breakdown in tears in the middle of the film. Like, I will say, right now for the record, Only Yesterday is probably the better film in terms of the content of it, but I am probably not going to go back to Only Yesterday anytime soon. Like I mentioned when we talked about Only Yesterday, I could definitely see myself coming back to Ocean Waves, not going to lie. And
I'll come back to it if Insomnia is getting on my case.
Okay. We get it, Jazzy, and I say that lovingly. But yeah, like Missy, I did enjoy Ocean Waves a lot more than I thought I would. Like the one time I did watch Ocean Waves back in the day, because I believe I recall stating that that I did mention that I didn't like Ocean Waves initially. I think I was just too young to really appreciate it all that much and just wrote it off as very boring. Like, that's not to say that, like, oh, Jazzy, you writing it off as boring and everything like that now is bad, but that was more just me not, like, having, like, proper appreciation
You're both
for
calling
what
it. You're calling it. You're using the word boring, but like boring means two very different things
Yes.
in how
It means
you
different
are
things to a
using it.
child, to an adult. When I say it's boring from the view of an adult, I say the story's not interesting and the characters
Right.
are about as deep as a kiddie pool. So
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for that clarification, because I feel like I wasn't clarifying it good enough.
Mhm.
The point here being is that there's two different. The way that I was viewing it back then was through a very immature lens, and now that I'm looking at it from a more mature lens, I do actually see its merit in a sense, and I do actually really enjoy it. Like, yeah, it's not perfect. Like, on my own personal ranking, it's not going past fucking Nos. It's not going past Castle in the Sky. But I do feel like, and controversially, I feel
I
like it's
actually
better
did
than.
just move it down below Nausicaa because I'm looking at where I put it.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would personally put it above Nazca personally, but that's only because I feel like it has that sort of emotional attachment that like I can sort of relate to in a sense, and I'm just like, okay, I get what they're going for with this. And again, if we establish that Nazca was like the baseline of Ghibli, I do kind of consider like Ocean Waves a bit better because like, yeah, I will admit that the main duo in the story can be a little bit hard to watch at times, especially if you have seen that happen in your own life. But
Oh yeah.
I will but going back to what you mentioned before, Missy, about the main protagonist being like cured, it did sort of remind me a lot of the relationship between Haruhi and Kieran. And yeah, I totally get that people are just like not a big fan of how Haruhi treats Kieran and like everyone in Haruhi Suzumiya, to be honest. But
Haruhi Suzumiya really leans into that though.
yeah, it leans into it
Like
because
that's one of the central supports of that show. So like I get it.
yeah, and like she never really finds. I'll say this. I kind of like the way that it's explored in this versus how it is in Haruhi Suzumiya because in the world of Haruhi Suzumiya, she hardly if ever gets called out on her actions, except for like once or twice. And even then, it's for dramatic purposes only and not for any real consequence on it. This one, there is actual consequence because, like, God, can't remember her name right now to save my life because I'm on a roll with this right now. But the point I'm trying to make
neither,
here
I'm
is
sorry.
Could you repeat that? Sorry, Missy?
I can't remember either, so like I can't help you there.
That's okay. The main female character, she is kind of a cunt in the entire movie, and what ends up happening as a result of it is that she
Hold up.
well. Starting recording again. I was in the middle of the fucking rant I was having about the main character in Ocean Waves.
I do not remember. So.
Okay, so I love the fact that she actually does have certain consequences happening because of her actions throughout it. And by the end of it, it's just like nobody fucks with her. And like not even the main two male characters that like are fighting for her affection and whatnot really want anything to do with her. And it's like, yeah, this is sort of why I was just like, with the Haruhi and Kyo comparison, I was just like, I see where you're going for with that one there, but I'm also just thinking to myself, this is actually a much better duo than Haruhi and Kyo, because Kyo is kind of an indentured servant to Haruhi in that series, because if she doesn't get her way, the universe fucking explodes. Meanwhile, in this, it's like, no, she has to live with the fact that she was a bitch and used people constantly. And while
Does she, though?
yeah, like while people are wanting her at the reunion, there is a certain air about that gives the impression that, like, while everyone else has sort of matured and probably might be okay with her being around, it's under a very adult tense of just like, yeah, we kind of hope she's gotten better.
Yeah, but the guy still goes to find her and is like, oh, I guess I loved her all along, which is the most fuck you ending to a movie I've ever seen.
I mean, some relationships are just kind of like that in the end. Like, I know that, like, I look back on a lot of relationships I had in high school with certain people and just went like, oh, maybe I did have feelings for them.
Nah, I don't. Like, I look, if those are your feelings, that's valid. But when I've seen people who were mean to me in high school and tried taking advantage of me, you know what when I think back to them? Thank fuck they're out of my... They don't deserve me.
I mean, I
Valid.
do definitely get where you're coming from with that one. I definitely do have a select group where I'm just like, nah, fuck you for life. But I'm one of the... But I guess that's sort of just my nature where I'm just like, if I see that maybe they're doing a lot better than they were doing back then and they're not a complete asshole now after so many years, I might try and see if they're like, they might fuck with me.
Oh, absolutely. I get that. I have met people... Okay, let me rephrase for a second. I have met people who I weren't exactly on the best terms with, like back in my high school age, and I've talked to them again, and it turns out they're completely chill now. I get that. That has happened. I will not deny that. But usually it comes after I've seen, oh, they're okay now. There's not a moment we get that with the main girl. Like, by the time we see her in the future, the movie's over. There's nothing.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing there. If this was like an Only Yesterday situation where maybe we got a bit more time in the future timeline with them as adults and we could see like a clear contrast between who they were in the past and who they were now, that'd be one thing. But by the time we get to the future timeline, the movie's wrapping up, and by the time we see the main girl, it's pretty much over. Like, I don't even think she gets a line before it goes to credits.
Hot take, I think this movie, similarly to Porco Rosso, would benefit from having been like a full anime season.
Yeah, I do definitely agree
Like,
with that one.
again, it hits all those anime beats, including the beach episode.
Oh god, you know what? You know what this movie feels like now that you put that into my brain, Missy? This
Uh-huh.
feels like an anime series recap movie. Like
Oh
they,
god, it does.
like they just,
Oh
Yes!
my god!
yeah,
Let's go! We cracked the code!
we finally
No
figured
wonder
out.
I fucking hate. God, no wonder I fucking hate it. I hate recap movies.
Okay, we now know the real reason why Jazzy really hates this movie. We can pack it in.
Well, like, I don't like recap movies because I feel like you have to sacrifice a lot in order to get into the plot. I remember back when I was watching Evangelion for the first time, they had a recap movie between the main series and
Yeah,
End of
Death and
Eva,
Rebirth.
and Death and Rebirth. I fucking hated. Like, I really get it all. Like,
Yeah, and I will attest to that. A Madoka Magica fan right here. I tell people, don't fucking watch those goddamn recap movies. Just watch the 12 episode anime series. You're literally just gonna spend like 1 additional hour on the anime series. Don't fucking bother with those. They're not worth it. Just watch the 12 episode anime, go to Rebellion.
yeah, okay, everything's starting to make shit. Okay, I'll concede. I'll concede. There was a personal bias that was fucking with me on this movie that I didn't notice until now. So,
There
okay,
we go.
I get.
There we fucking go. All right.
Wild.
Okay, fucking earth. Okay, so, oh god.
Anime season RTA any percent.
Oh, okay, so, fucking, where does, okay, so given the fact that you put it, like, dead last, Jazzy, and me and Missy put it around about Nazca at this point, God, what does our podcast ranking look like now? Cause holy shit.
Say it.
I edited my podcast ranking while we were talking about ocean waves.
Yeah.
So mine is like very recent.
Okay.
So I've started to notice, I don't know if you all have noticed this as well, but at least for me, it goes Kiki, Totoro, Only Yesterday, Nazca, which is like, for me, the transcendent. Like, this is the capital G Ghibli. And then it goes Ocean Waves, Porco, Castle in the Sky. Which are like the, like, I guess like lowercase g Ghibli. Like, they're not transcendent for me. And Grave is on its own tier.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I would put I wouldn't even put Grave of the Fireflies on like a straight up and down ranking. I would put Grave on its own shelf because I think that's what it deserves.
Yeah. But in terms of the actual ranking, we unfortunately have to put it as Grave, Nazca, Ocean Waves, Only Yesterday, Porco Rosso, Castle in the Sky, Totoro, and Kiki.
So, from best to worst at this point, here was my personal ranking, and I'm looking at.
That
I had to scroll
that
up.
was the podcast ranking I just gave, by the way.
Okay, well, my personal ranking at this point, since so I think it might be worth saying since mine is clearly going to be much different thanks to Ocean Waves. Mine goes from best to worst: Kiki, Totoro, Only Yesterday, Castle in the Sky, Nausicaa, Grave of the Fireflies, Porco Rosso, reserving the space below it for actual good movies, and Ocean Waves.
Oh god. And like from best to worst, personal ranking at this point is Kiki, Totoro, Porco Rosso, Castle in the Sky, Ocean Waves, Nazca, Only Yesterday, Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, oh god, we're really starting to divert a bit.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest diversion of them all, because like I know like when we started doing this, we were just like, oh god, which is the one we're actually going to disagree on, and we were wrong both times.
Right, I think this was the one we really fucking disagreed. Though I'm curious about the next one, because I'm going to say, minor spoiler, I don't like Pompoko at all either, so...
I believe I watched Pompoko once, and I think I left that movie with a sense of bewilderment. Negative. So like,
Again, the only Ghibli movie beyond this point that I have seen is Ponyo, and that is down the road.
yeah,
Oh, I
that
love.
that
Oh, I'm
is
so.
I haven't watched Howls. I haven't watched Spirited Away. I have not watched anything in between
Missy,
or after.
you haven't watched my favorite movie of all time.
No, I have not.
I can't wait
Which one?
to experience this.
Which one is that, Chloe?
Spirited Away.
Oh yeah, I love Spirited Away. That's one of my. That's
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not my absolute favorite, but it's absolutely one of my favorites. I love
Yeah,
that
but
one.
Missy, just so
I'm.
you're aware, we haven't even left the 90s yet. We're close to exiting the
Oh, I know.
90s. We got 4 more of the 90s to go.
I know.
And I will say, minus the bump of Pompoko, I think the 90s going forward is going to have a good run. We just got to get through that bump because I think after Pompoko's Whisper of the Heart, and oh man, I'm excited.
And then it's
Was there
Princess Mononoke.
something about the 90s specifically that impacted Ghibli in this specific way? Like, is there a reason there was this run of movies? Like, were they trying to like figure out, was this like a lull between the early transcendent masterpieces and like trying to find an identity coming into the 2000s? I'm just curious.
I really couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm not sure if there really was, like, a set thing for Ghibli in the 90s.
Wild.
Ah,
But yeah, that's our views on that. That is over 30 minutes of our individual and collective views on ocean waves.
Ah, gosh.
Thank you all so much for joining. My name is joke. There is still checks notes. There's you may notice there is still more runtime in this podcast.
Funny how that works. Oh god, okay. Where the
So, in terms of movies, I saw a rather interesting one a couple days ago.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
So I sat down, and despite not liking the trailers for this movie, I sat down and watched Wonka.
Oh, the Timothy Chalamet one?
Yes.
How was
And-
that?
Was that like 2018?
No, it came out last year.
I'm so
Okay, so like I said,
was
did not like the
last year?
Yeah, so I didn't like the trailers for this movie, so I didn't see it initially because the trailers looked really bad, and even people who really love this movie will tell you that.
Uh-huh.
I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, it was kind of like a charming little film. And, I told Shakira this on stream the other night, but, like, there's a fact about this movie that the trailers fail to advertise, and when I tell you it, it'll make complete sense why the advertising didn't work.
Hmm.
And that fact is that it's a musical.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, it works.
Kind of bearing the lead there in the advertising, huh?
Yeah.
Right, I'm getting so annoyed at musical movies not advertising the music. Like, I heard Wicked's really good, and I'm sure it is, but I have a bitterness towards the advertising for that. I have a bitterness about a lot of things regarding the Wicked movie, but that's neither here nor there. Like,
I think I saw my first ad for the Wicked movie, and I saw what's his face as the wizard.
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum, thank you. And I'm like, oh, they're pushing the movie this way. I like
Yeah,
Jeff Goldblum. He's a kooky
I do
actor.
too. My biggest problems with the movie is God, like, the PR for this movie has been a fucking disaster, and if it wasn't based on, like, this big stage musical that everyone loves, this would have spelled the movie's doom. Like,
And also,
I
it's
read
just
the
like,
book before I saw the musical.
oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's based on a series of books.
Right, like, but here's the thing: Wicked is like this hot ticket name. So, and if it didn't
Yeah.
have that, the PR for this film would have killed it.
I
Like,
also just love the fact that they're not at all advertising it as just Act 1.
yeah, there's that. I love the fact that the minute the main star bullied that fan artist for making a poster, they immediately shifted all the advertising to Ariana.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
know
they-
how to feel about that, to be honest.
I don't. Well, like, okay, if she was getting mad at all the AI generated shit, I understand that completely because that's garbage. But the thing she was getting mad at was a poster that was not AI generated. It was just
Yeah.
a fan poster, making it closer to how the original show's poster looked.
Yeah, and she tried to make it this. I don't know. She tried to make it this whole thing about racism, and I'm just like, no, that's not
Girl,
what
what are you
this
doing?
is."
What are you doing?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, oh, do I want to go see this in cinemas, or do I want to wait till it comes out on digital? And then I remember,
I don't know.
And then I remembered that like hardly anybody I know who I regularly go to the movies with is interested in this like I am, because not really big theater kids compared to me.
Yeah, I think unless one of my roommates ends up seeing it, I probably won't. But if they do, I'll probably join them just because why not? Give me something to do. But
Yeah.
this is a movie that I'm mildly interested in checking out, but not like rushing to see just because I don't know. I've learned from past experience to stay away with movies with disastrous PR like Wicked because you have the thing with the bullied fan artist, but you also just have the thing with the I don't know. It's the minute I saw that they accidentally put a porn website on the dolls they're selling to children, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. I totally forgot that was a thing that they did.
Yeah, they accidentally put the link to Wicked Pictures on the
Jesus, how do you not double check that?
Like I said, the PR for this movie is so bad it would spell doom if it wasn't based on such a big name.
Also, I just want to say this real quick. I really don't want this to become a trend where we're getting part 1 and part 2 movies back to back with that one from there. I didn't like it when they were doing it a decade ago with Deathly Hallows. I didn't like it, well, I could understand it a little bit when they were doing it with Infinity War and Endgame back to back in years. I wasn't a fan of it when they tried to do it with Dead Reckoning Part 1, like, last year for the last Mission Impossible movie. I got it a little bit with Dune Part 1 and Part 2, but I don't like this. I really hope this doesn't become the new trend in Hollywood movies.
With Dune, I don't mind because I think there was a clear creative influence in dividing the story into two, which I didn't mind too much, and I think they justified it in their extremely lengthy runtimes. So
Yep, and also because of the fact that if you try to, we already know what happens when you try to compress the entirety of Dune into one movie. Cough, looking at you, David Lynch. Cough.
But yeah, other than Dune, the only other movie where I felt they were slightly justified in dividing it into two was probably It.
Oh yeah,
because,
right. I totally forgot about that one.
Because in fairness, It itself was kind of two separate stories. So
yeah.
But back to Wonka. This kind of got off track.
Yeah, we got way too off track talking about Wicked.
No. So Wonka was fun. It was a good musical. I thought it was well made. The musical sequences were great. The story was great. I loved the characters. The acting was pretty great across the board. Fuck. It even got me to cry a little bit by the end, surprisingly. Like,
Wow.
I actually teared up at the end, which I wasn't expecting, so.
Amazing.
No, it is. I am so bitter at how dirty they did the advertising to this film, and it can join Transformers 1 in the club of films where I'm bitter towards the advertising. Oh, God. But yeah, other than that, I've just been mostly, I managed to complete my Sailor Moon collection for my birthday, so I'm happy.
Oh, what was the thing you
Yo!
What was the thing that you finished it up with?
So I got season 4 on Blu-ray thanks to my partner, and I got some and I got some gift card money from my folks. And I used that gift card money to get season 5 and both the S and Super S movies, and that was all I needed for the collection to be complete. At this point in time, the Eternal and Cosmos movies do not have physical releases in the States, so I gotta wait until Netflix decides to release them from their grubby hands, if they do!
You know there's another way you can find to grab those, because I saw them being sold on Etsy, apparently.
That too. Maybe I will go the unofficial route, at least, and with the promise that I will buy an official release if it comes out.
I can't believe that's the only way you can get certain physical media now that only has a digital release. That's kind of bullshit.
Right, I saw them selling, like, bootleg Blu-rays of, like, digital-only releases at a con I was at, like, some time ago. Like, they had Blu-rays of, like, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Kenobi, though I think that got an official physical release not too long ago, so.
That's still
But
so
at the time, it didn't, so like, you'd have all these bootlegs of. I guess I can't blame them for capitalizing on the market, because, I mean, like, how else are people going to get physical releases if you're going to insist on locking them behind a service in which you need constantly well-functioning internet to use?
Yeah, that's kind of sucky, to be honest.
Right. But yeah, also, it's a good thing I got Sailor Moon S, the movie, in time, because that is technically a Christmas movie, so.
Ayo, nice.
Do you consider
live.
The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
I believe
Both.
we've had this discussion before on the podcast.
I consider it both. I will make
Yes.
this clear to the day. It is both. It can be both.
Missy, are you having do you have early onset dementia? Because I'm pretty sure we talked about this a year ago.
No, I just have ADHD. And I
That's
go into
true.
a fugue state whenever we do the podcast.
But yes, to reiterate, I consider it a both scenario with that one.
Right. But yeah, it is both. It is 100% both. Like, it can be both. Don't confine it to its to one.
Anyway, sorry, Sailor Moon, technically a Christmas movie.
Yeah, Sailor Moon S, the movie, is technically a Christmas movie because it takes place during winter. There's a scene where Santa Claus appears and it's Tuxedo Mask in disguise. It's great.
I guess that, God, it's like
Tuxedo Mask.
It is genuinely like a month away until Christmas as we're recording this podcast. That's wild to think about.
Right? It's crazy.
God, that makes me wonder. What do y'all have any favorite sort of Christmas movies or specials at all?
Quite a few, honestly. Like, my roommates and I were actually compiling a bunch we wanted to watch, and in terms of ones I really wanted to make sure we watch, my favorite is A Muppet Christmas Carol. You cannot go Christmas without Muppet Christmas Carol.
Caine.
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Caine as Scrooge is the best Scrooge ever. I will fight people on that.
Hey, you don't have to fight me because I'm on your side there.
Good.
No, I love that one. The Home Alone movies are classic to me. Certain Christmas episodes of shows I absolutely adore. Like, the SpongeBob Christmas Who is amazing. And then it went silent.
Bobertson.
Missy, I think you mentioned you had some?
Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously.
Classic.
And listen, I am nothing if not on brand. And the Phineas and Ferb Christmas special.
Oh my
is
god.
an eternal classic for me.
Oh my god, that is wild.
I also really like the South Park special, Woodland Critters Christmas. It is so off the rails, and I love it so much.
Out of all the Christmas episodes you had to pick the Woodland Critter Christmas one?
Yes, it's amazing.
Okay. Wild. Okay.
Do you not think it's amazing?
No, that's not what I was saying. I'm just like, out of all
never
the
seen
Christmas
it.
ones that they did, I'm genuinely surprised that the Woodland Critter one is your favorite, but it's actually on brand for you.
It goes mainly because it's the best. Like, Missy, if you've never seen it, go in blind because the shit that happens in it is so nuts that you're not gonna be able to see any of it coming.
I'll be honest, and this is so on brand. Speaking of me being on brand, y'all are gonna straight up yell in the podcast. I've never seen South Park.
That's fair.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
not
not
even-
surprised by that at this point.
Look, I like South Park, but I don't blame people who haven't checked it out or don't really care for it. So, like, I don't know. I am.
See, as it's been established by this point, I'm more surprised by things that you have seen by this point than I am by things that you haven't seen.
I live under a rock.
In terms of other Christmas movies, both the 30-minute animated version and the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. Both.
Yes,
They're
those are
both
good.
great. I'm going to ignore the
Yes.
Benedict Cumberbatch one for as long as I live.
Very fair. The one by Illumination, you mean?
Yeah, fuck. I don't like that one. I've seen bits and pieces and it bored me.
You know what? That's valid. That is perfectly valid. I guess mine is it's very interesting mine. Mine goes Muppet Christmas Carol 100%. Klaus is on there as well. That was what I
Oh, I love Klaus.
Yeah,
I love Klaus.
I only just got introduced to that like 2 years
Still need
ago
to
or
see
something
it.
like that. That one fucking amazing. This may come off as a bit of an interesting one, but I'm actually a fan of the 2 Peanuts ones.
Those are good.
Yeah, both.
Those are eternal.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, and I only got introduced to them like within the last few years, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I've missed out on a fair bit of these.
Oh, you can't do
I'm
Christmas
not
without.
surprised about that.
You can't do Christmas without the Rankin Bass specials. Let's be real for a
I'll
second.
be honest, not a big fan of the Rankin Bass ones.
I love them. They are so corny, and I love them.
I don't know, maybe it's an American thing, but like, I never really got the hype behind the Rankin Bass ones, to be honest.
You gotta. So my friend Lucia does online viewing of them in Discord servers every year, and she plays it in an order as if we were watching some big cinematic universe type
Oh
thing.
my god, okay.
And it makes them all immensely enjoyable.
Very fair. I guess also on that trail, there
The
was-
Iron Man of Rankin Bass.
You are not wrong.
There's 2 more. The Powerpuff Girls Christmas special is definitely one that I go back to pretty often, especially after I did the ranking of all those back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And also Hogfather. Like
Hogfather.
like the Terry Pratchett Discworld novel that was turned into a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
That's a new name to me.
Yeah.
Not Pratchett. Obviously, I know Pratchett, but
Y'all need
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
on y'all need to get on top of Discworld. It's really great.
In terms of other Christmas, what other Christmas specials do I think are always worth the watch every year? Dang, there's
The
like a
Legend
lot
of
of.
Sleepy Hollow,
Oh, if you want a so bad it's good
the
Christmas
animated
movie,
one.
that, but the peak of so bad it's good Christmas movies is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
It's so bad. It's awful, but it's hilarious.
Okay, but A Crazy Nights though.
Oh, I don't like Gay Crazy Nights. I'm sorry, that one's bad.
Although I guess that's more Hanukkah, I guess.
Yeah, we can count it. We don't have a lot of Hanukkah movies. Shame this is one of the only ones. If you want some, like, multicultural and different holiday specials, Rugrats did specials for, like, a bunch of them.
Yep.
I vaguely remember those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
God.
did the deep lore of my childhood.
Oh, Jazzy, did you ever watch fucking Power Rangers as a kid?
Have I ever watched what?
Power Rangers.
Yes, I did.
Fucking Alpha's Magical Christmas. That's so bad it's good.
That's good. Oh, yeah.
We're just running the gambit at this point of just like Christmas stuff, and I'm
The
compiling
Liberty Kids Christmas episode where Washington crossed the Delaware.
The fuck?
We've talked about Liberty's Kids on
We
the
have
podcast
talked about
before.
Yes,
Liberty's
we have. But I must reiterate, the fuck.
No, there was a specific episode that covered the Battle of Trenton, where
Huh,
Washington crossed the Delaware on
Interesting.
Christmas Eve, I think.
Hmm.
I think that was the
wild.
my history is so fucked.
Imagine knowing your own history. Couldn't be me. Oh god.
Moving on.
Oh god. But yeah, it's just like I've just been the main reason why I asked that is just because I've been compiling a bunch together to like either play during the month of December, or when I eventually get a whole bunch of people over for a nice little well, not on Christmas because a lot of them are going to be out of the state or doing their own thing, but just like a big old get together on as a combined birthday and Christmas thing, because I'm in an awkward spot where my birthday is 11 days before Christmas, so it's just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god, do I do a celebration for my birthday or do I organize something for Christmas? And I've just given up and just combined it into one in the middle.
Decisions.
Yeah. Eh.
Eh.
Yeah. Oh god, right. Fucking the two Community Christmas episodes. The one where they actually parody the Rankin Bass style, and one where they parody Glee doing it.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Wait, have you never watched Community before, Jazzy?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. Look, you gotta understand, I am behind on, like, mainstream shows and shit. Like,
Oh god, am I the only one that knows most mainstream stuff in this podcast?
look, I need you to understand
I'm
how
familiar
behind
with
I am on
Community.
stuff.
I've never like watched it.
For a reference of how behind I am on stuff, my roommates only recently showed me Malcolm in the Middle for the first time.
Oh
Wow.
my god!
Wow.
And it's because I've seen and here's the reason why, and that's funny. Because I had seen Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul, and I was interested to see like what Bryan Cranston's first like major thing was.
Oh
So.
my god. Breaking Bad was your first thing for Bryan Cranston?
No, what was the first thing I saw with Bryan Cranston in it? It wasn't the first. I've seen him as like side characters in other stuff before this point.
Oh god, please don't tell me it was Zordon and fucking Power Rangers.
It wasn't. I know I had seen him and stuff before that. Hold on.
Oh, thank god.
I am Hey, I liked that movie, so
I liked it too. I thought it was pretty alright, but also like, oh god.
like if that was my first go at No, so the first movie I saw Bryan Cranston in a lead role was actually rather obscure. I saw him in a movie called Trumbo.
What the fuck is that?
It's about a screenwriter named Donald Trumbo who was basically doing ghostwriting during the time of the Red Scare.
Oh,
it's actually very interesting.
Oh my god, that was 2015. What the fuck?
Right. I think I'd seen him in other minor, I do remember seeing him in Godzilla when that came out, but this is like the first like big role where he actually played a character that I was
Oh god. Okay, so you mainly knew Bryan Cranston for his more serious roles. So how was your thoughts seeing him in like a very silly comedical role?
It's funny if I consider Malcolm in the Middle an origin story for Walter White.
Well, have you ever seen the deleted scene of the ending of
Yes!
Breaking Bad?
Yes, and now that I've seen like a good amount of Malcolm in the Middle, I love that alternate ending so much.
Oh, it's so great going from as a Malcolm in the Middle fan first before I saw Breaking Bad. That sent me.
Right, the fact that they got the actress back for the wife just for that scene, it was so cool. Oh god, no, I love Bryan Cranston. I'm glad I've been able to get a wide variety of different like stuff he's in to watch. So,
God, That's just so wild thinking about that. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I always feel like people think it's weird that Malcolm in the Middle was not the first thing I knew Bryan Cranston for.
I mean, I definitely get a lot of people that see Breaking Bad before they see Malcolm in the Middle, given the fact that, Jesus Christ, Malcolm in the Middle is 25 years old at this point.
Hmm.
But I definitely understand if people see Bryan Cranston as Walter White before they see him as fucking the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Hal, that's his name. They see him as Walter before they see him as Hal.
Hal, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know, but yeah. I'll say I really like Malcolm in the Middle. It's a fun little sitcom, and I have gotten plenty of laughs out of it.
No, yeah, it's good.
The grandma played by Cloris Leachman fucking sends me.
Oh, she's the devil, but she's great.
She is, but she's so funny. They played the music while they were slaughtering people on the streets. They were playing Jingle Bells.
And it just works its way back around to Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's a Christmas episode of Malcolm in the Middle to watch because it's really funny.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
You get to see Cloris Leachman stab a kid in the leg with a sewing needle. So.
Huh?
Oh God. Oh well. I know this month was very busy for you, Jazzy, but what the hell have you got on for the next month?
Like next month starting tomorrow, or start like from this point to a month from tomorrow, or are we talking December?
Yeah, I guess given the fact it's close to the end of the month, just from now until like this time next month.
Okay, well, we're recording this on November 23rd. I just had my birthday. Tomorrow I'm flying out to LA because the Inanimate Insanity movie. Thank you. The Inanimate Insanity movie is having a theatrical premiere in LA on Monday, so that's going to be. I am very excited for that. I knew the day I knew I made it was when I saw that movie had an official Letterboxd page. So
Nice.
For real.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Letterboxd certified. I'm an actor.
Let's go.
Let's see.
This officially means we can all log in on our Letterboxd and glaze this movie because you're in it, like all people do.
I can't believe I know someone famous.
What else is going on? I know in December I have a lot more murder mystery shows going on.
A lot mortar mystery shows.
Mortar mystery. What? And then of course you have the holidays, so that's always fun.
Good to know that you'll be getting some kind of a break soon.
Yeah. I think honestly this month was probably the busiest month for me, so. And it's my birth month, goddamn. So.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Understatement.
Yeah. What else is more streaming, obviously. We started Kingdom Hearts 2, and of course we're gonna be starting Life is Strange 2 next week.
Congratulations surviving the card game from hell.
Yeah, I got nothing from it. I beat the game. I feel nothing.
Even though we had to like remind you how card types and weaknesses work.
Look.
I mean,
this game has a lot. This game has a lot of intricacies and too much shit to remember for something that's supposed to be a dumb side game meant to bridge the gap between two actual games. So,
I mean, yeah,
we're gonna. Well, I still have. Chain of Memories is still one of the games that I have not played.
And your life is better for it.
Of the series. So, like, we'll see when I get there. As the card game, like, as the card game brain person of the three of us.
Fair enough.
What is the other one that you haven't played by chance?
I've played 358. I actually want to get a cartridge of that because my DS still works. Wild, I know. I take very good care of it.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't played Chain of Memories. I have not. I've played 2. I've played Birth by Sleep. I've not played Recoded.
Ah, okay.
I I am yet. I am yet to play Dream Drop Distance,
Even on the
Okay.
2.8 version?
even on the 2.8 version.
Wild.
Um,
Um,
and I do still need to play a Fragmentary Passage, even though I know everything that happens in that game.
Hmm.
fair enough. My roommates and I have also been playing through the Ace Attorney series, so
You have mentioned about that. Nice.
Nice.
yeah, we've gotten through the
Love the Ace
trilogy, we
Attorney
got through
series.
the Investigations duology, and we're currently almost done with Leighton versus Wright, and now, after we're done with Ace Attorney, my roommates really want to check out Leighton, so I've done my
Layton's
job.
really
Good.
fucking great.
Yeah, no, I love the Professor Layton game, so I was very happy when this game made them interested in wanting to go through the Layton games after we finish all of Ace Attorney, so...
Good. Fucking good.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Yes, I've been reading all the dialogue for Professor Layton.
Have either of you seen the ProZD sketch of Leighton?
Yep.
Yes, I have.
Luke, get in the car. I am done.
No, there was like a time in high school I was obsessed with Leighton. It was no, it wasn't high school, it was college because that's when Leighton versus Wright came out. I played that because I was a big Ace Attorney fan and I was really into the Leighton gameplay, so I was like, God damn it, I need to play the rest of this.
So
When
good.
I'm on a massive when I need to go on a massive travel, I bring Curious Village with me.
Oh, Curious
Nice.
Village is so good.
Yeah. I got all
So
the games at the
charming.
time on the DS and 3DS, and I managed to find. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I did at the time. I did manage to find a physical copy of the movie Eternal Diva, which banger fucking movie, by the way.
Oh, it's so good.
Yo.
Oh, God. Missy, what have you got going on?
Just a lot of the usual. I am 65-70% done with something that that will appear in a future project on this channel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
And aside from that, streaming very regularly. I do. I've been enjoying doing art and animation. I've been what's been happening lately. I've been working on an emote for my VTuber Twitch channel where I basically replicate the Bling Bang Bang Born dance from Mashal season 2 opening.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And a lot of my attention has been going towards that. So
Nice.
yeah, twitch.tv/OzCyphara.
Get on that.
OZCYPHARA.
I see you pop up occasionally in chat on mine, so I'm always happy to see y'all.
Yes.
And
And
yeah. Yep.
okay. All right. Seeing as you two haven't brought it up, yeah, all this Kingdom Hearts talk has been like, guess what, motherfuckers? That Kingdom Hearts video we promised like way at the beginning of the year, it's coming out hopefully before the end of the month. And
Yay!
holy fucking shit, it's probably been one of my favorite things I've worked on this year because I got to work on it with the both of you. And
Very involved, yeah.
yeah. And oh God, I can't wait to see the reaction to it. It's gonna definitely be coming out after this podcast is done. Because I'm probably gonna drop the podcast like right in the middle of the week. And then like maybe potentially drop the Kingdom Hearts video like a few days after the fact.
Uh-oh, drop the podcast.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I've been really excited about it. But the one thing I will definitely say about it is holy fucking shit, this has been the hardest one to like source footage for because my YouTube downloader has somehow for like 50% of the footage, it's like either it will go immediately into Vegas just fine, or I gotta like do it through Handbrake and then redo it through there so that it can be used in Vegas, because 90 like half the time the footage I've been getting off YouTube is just like, whoops, sorry, we can't use this in here, or it's only the audio, and it's just like, oh.
This is why I'm not a video essayist.
I need to finish the video. I have a bunch of shit on the like.
You've been promising shit on this podcast for like a year. You've promised a Quest for
Look.
Camelot video. You promised a When Marty Was There video.
Look, when Marnie was there was a tease. I never even started that. Quest for Camelot, I just lost motivation for because a strike happened right as I was getting momentum, and I couldn't do it.
Yep.
That was last year.
Yeah, it's amazing how right now I'm in the midst of work. I promise this is one I'm working on. I'm bad at this, I know.
It's fine.
I
mean,
I hope nothing else
care of
happens
yourself
that
first.
prevents me from doing this video. I'm doing one on Signalis because this recent stream I did really made me fascinated by the themes and the queerness of it. So
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice. Yeah. That Kingdom Hearts video is the main one I've been working on. I might try and pump out one more video before the end of the year after that one. Don't fucking hold me to that. I might try and do it because I've got my yearly taking a week off from work for my birthday week thing.
Fair.
going on. So
As you should.
So I'm either going to be resting up that entire week, or I'm going to be really productive during that week and actually doing stuff. Either way, you might get one more video after that Kingdom Hearts video, and then nothing from me until like March or April of next year. But like, unless we make time, unless we manage to get another podcast in, which I don't know with how busy the month of December is for y'all, but like, if we manage to find a weekend or sometime during that week I'm off work for, why not?
We will see. But if this is the last one for the year, I mean, this is basically a Christmas episode.
A little bit, yeah, but like, who can say, really? It's the Christmas.
I have been Missy.
I've been
These
Jazzy.
have been my co-hosts.
Your co-host?
Oh, I guess Missy owns the podcast now. Sorry, Chloe.
Wow, okay, yeah, you can dump it on your channel, Missy. See how that works.
I don't have a channel anymore.
Oh, right, yeah, I tried to go to your YouTube channel, and then it's just like, oh no, it's gone.
07's in chat.
Yeah, I've been Chloe, by the way. Just so that, like, you didn't forget who fucking owns this channel. But, like, these aren't my co-hosts. We're all on equal footing. These are my lovely friends who I love doing this with. And, hopefully we'll see y'all before the end of the year. Maybe. Who can say?
All right. See y'all.
Bye.